little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I am pleased to present to you the Lapping Waves blanket. Yes, it's light, it's lacy, it's textured, it's so simple. It is just a 2 round repeat. Yes, you heard me correctly. Very simple. It utilizes double crochets and treble crochets. Very, very simple. And the texturing is utilizing actually its back post double crochets. It's really quite simple because you're going around the posts of the trebles. Very, very simple. And as you can see, it creates this really lovely texture, especially around the corners with the back posts, creating a really, really awesome texture like lapping waves, hence the name. And a while back, I did do a tutorial on a shawl version of this, and it took me a while to figure out how I could do this in rounds as opposed to in rows, just doing the triangular format. But I figured it out. I hope you like the results. And yeah, that's today's tutorial. Um, as far as what I used, this is Lion Brand's Pound of Love. This video is not sponsored, but I always like to let you know what it is that I use. And I did go into a second skein for this particular project. It measures about 49 inches by about 49 inches. So it's relatively square, yes. There is a lot of stretch in there as well. And I used, where's my hook? Here's my hook. I used for this a size I 5.5 millimeter hook. You can, of course, use whatever hook, whatever yarn, have fun with it. But I thought this would make a really lovely throw, or if you are so inclined, a baby blanket. You can make this as big or as small as you want to. Have fun with it. So, with that being said, let's get started. Alrighty, so first things first, going to start with our slip knot and a chaining up of 8, because we're going to be using a lot of treble crochets in the first round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then slip stitch to the first chain and create a ring. Now you could, of course, use the magic ring method. Not my cup of tea, but hey, do what works for you. So from here, chain up 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is going to count as our first treble crochet. And we need groupings of 6 treble crochets. And so yarning over twice, going through the center ring, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we have a total of 2 trebles. Yarning over twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2, through 2, through 2. Okay, need 3 more for this grouping. Okay, we've got 4, through 2, through 2, through 2. 1 more. Through 2, through 2, through 2. Okay, so we have a total of 6 treble crochets. Very good. Chain 1, 6 more. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. and 6. Yes, very good. Okay, chain 1, 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, chain 1, and then the final 6. Now, I cannot stress enough the importance of counting and double counting, because actually this is the second time that I'm filming, because the first time I miscounted, so it is important. So that's 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, yes, I am going to double check my work. Okay, so we have a total of 6 here, chain 1 space, and it's easy to miss where your chain 1 space is, so you got to be careful of that. So I've got another 6 and another 6, and then a final 6. Perfect. Okay, so after you make sure, chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of your first treble crochet, and there you have it. Now for the first round, yes, it is groupings of 6, and we're going to follow suit with that. In subsequent rounds, it's going to be groupings of 7. Don't ask me why, it just works. All right, so let's continue on with round 2. So for round 2, this is actually the point where I had a lot of difficulty trying to figure out, all right, how do I go from here to immediately going into back post double crochets? Well, the answer is simple. What you do is you chain up 1 loosely, and then going around this first post that we slip stitched into, going around the back of that post. Just want to make sure that you guys can see it well enough. Going around the post, grabbing your yarn, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and that is the first back post double crochet. And I'm going to do that again for you because I know it seems more than a little bit foreign. So you did your slip stitch. This is your little chain space right there. Chain up 1 loosely, going around the back of the post, pulling up your loop of yarn, pull through 2 and pull through 2. All right, then 5 more. Just going right in with your back post double crochets. Okay, now this one, it does look a little bit wonky, but it works. So we've got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, then once you reach the corners, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hopping right in around this first post, back post double crochets all the way across these 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 more back post double crochets around these 6 trebles. 1. Did I say 5 more? 6, 6 around the 6. If I misspoke, I apologize. So I've got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, 6. Okay, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then around these 6 trebles, yes, 6, 6 back post double crochets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Okay, then to finish up this round, chain 5 and slip stitch to the top of this first double crochet right into this stitch right here. Right there. Ta-da! And that is round 2. Round 3. Okay, so we have to go back to creating treble crochets. Now, the first bunch of chains that we're going to be doing is actually going to be the last treble crochet of this group over here, but we need to traverse over here. It'll make more sense as we go, trust me. So I'm going to start by chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is actually going to count as a treble crochet and a chain 1 space. Now, the reason why it would have been, okay, it would have been a total of 5 chains, but by subtracting that 1 chain, it looks a lot neater, trust me, okay? So only 4 chains, then going directly into this chain 5 space over here, 7 treble crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, double count. Yes, I've got my 7. Okay, and then chain 1, and then 7 more into the same space. 1. Need to yarn over twice, you know. There we go. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we've got 3 and 4. Perfect. Okay, now to skedaddle across this space here, just chain 1, and then into the next corner, 7 treble crochets, chain 1, 7 treble crochets. I would say the only tricky part is going from one round to the next, as far as remembering the chaining of 4 or the chaining of 1 and an immediate back post double crochet. Otherwise, the pattern itself is really quite simple. And if I had an ombre yarn on hand, I totally would have done this pattern with it, but we do what we do, right? All right, so I've got my 7, chain 1, and 7 more treble crochets into the same corner. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, yes, I'm going to double check. Perfect. Okay. Pull out a bit more yarn. Okay. Then from here, chain 1 and into the next corner space, 7 trebles. Now also, as far as any sort of edging you might be inclined to do, I always suggest get creative, have fun with it. However, me personally, I think that this round, the odd numbered rounds, look just fine. And so when you feel that your piece is sufficiently big enough, I would end on one of these rounds where you're doing the treble crochets. That's just me and my personal opinion. I'm entitled to it, just as you are yours. The following round with the doubles, I don't think looks as nice. That's just my take. So after doing my 7 trebles and my chain 1, 7 more trebles in the same space. So that's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. Okay. Double check. Got my 3 and my 4. Got my 3 and my 4. Perfect. Okay, just one more grouping for this round. Okay, got a chain 1. And then in the corner space, 7 trebles, chain 1, 7 trebles. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, 7 more into, see, I almost caught myself, 6 more, because this counts as our first treble. that we did, but the last of the round. So it's going to be 6, and then we slip stitch to that chain. I'll show you what I mean. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so again, double check. So I've got my 3 and my 4, got my 3 and 3, because here's the 4th. Now, going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain, or I find the easier way of doing it is just don't go into that first chain stitch there. Go into the next one. Like so, right here. Slip stitch into that 3rd chain from the bottom. And there you are. Frankly, I think that by only chaining 4 initially really does make this look a lot cleaner. At least I think so. All right, so then to get to where you want to be for the next round, slip stitch into the chain space, and then slip stitch into the next treble. And then you'll be good to go for the following even round. All right, so that is the end of round 3. Okay, so for round 4, we already ended by doing our slip stitch into this first treble. So chain up 1 loosely, and then back post double crochet around that first post, if I can manage it, around the first post. There we go. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. Okay, and then back post double crochet around each of the next 6 for a total of 7 back post double crochets. Now, of course, you could do some experimenting, and I encourage you to do some experimenting. I do get a lot of questions about, can I do this with your pattern? Can I do that? I say go for it. Have fun, experiment. As long as you're not actually outwardly plagiarizing, I say, yeah, sure. Have fun, experiment, go for it. All right, so we have 3 and 4, so we've got our 7. And then in the corners, again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then with this next grouping, back post double crochet this 7. Now, something that you may want to try in your experimenting is instead of chaining 5, you might want to only chain 3, and then your piece will be a little bit tighter. Now, will that cause it to buckle? I'm not sure because I haven't tried it, but it is through experimentation that we grow as creative people. And it's through said experimentation that I came up with this. So I encourage it. Also, of course, using different textures of yarn could be fun as well. All right, so I've got my 7 and my 7. And now from here, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do the same thing in this corner. So 7 back post doubles. There we go. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I mean, personally, I prefer, a sort of a clean, straightforward yarn. However, if you wanted to use something like a homespun or a boucle, you could, because generally you're not working into actual stitches, you're working into, stitch spaces and around posts. So you could. All right, so I've got my 7 here, chain 5, and then back post double crochet around this grouping of 7. So we're creating sort of archways to work into, on the following round, our treble crochet stitches. There we go. Just make sure I've done this correctly. Got my 7, my chain 5, got my 7. Perfect. Now, yes, it looks a little bit wonky and a little bit funky with these large loops, but they come in handy on the next round, believe you me, because we're going to need to create a fan here and 2 fans here, and you need to have some space. So, that being said, let's continue on for a little bit. Okay, so I got to the end here, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and commence with my back posts. Okay, that's 4, 5, 6, and 7. Good. Okay, chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Pull out a little bit more yarn. Okay. 7 more back post doubles. 1, 2. And this is why I was saying earlier that I think that this round is necessary to keep going, but I don't think it makes a very nice finishing round. I don't know about you, but I like the other one better. Okay, well, I've got 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so basically what you're going to do for the rest of this round, quite simply, is from here, chain 5, 7 back post double crochets, chain 5, 7 back post double crochets, chain 5, and then slip stitch to this stitch right here, this first back post double crochet. You slip stitch to that one. Okay, and I will meet back up with you for round 5. Okay, round 5 going to be very similar to what we did in round 3. We ended round 4 by doing our chaining up of 5 and then slip stitching to that first of the back post double crochets. So from here, chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then going into the chain 5 space at the end with 7 treble crochets. 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, good. Okay. Chain 1, and then 7 more into the same corner space. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, and this should be 7 if I'm not completely delusional. All right, so we've got 7 and 7. Perfect. Okay, good. Okay, so then from here, chain 1, and then into this middle, chain 5 space, 7 treble crochets, there we are. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, good. Okay, so then from here, pull out some more yarn. Kind of essential. All right, so from here, chain 1, and then into the corner space, 7 trebles, chain 1, 7 trebles. And that is essentially the gist of the entire pattern, I'm very happy to say. Okay, so I've got 5, 6, and a knot that magically came undone. Thank you. Okay, so I've got my 7. So then from here, what am I going to do? I'm going to chain 1, 7 more into the same corner space. Then after doing my 7, chain 1, 7, chain 1, 7 treble crochets, chain 1, 7 trebles, 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 chain 1, 7 trebles. But no, it's 6 because we need to do this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way around, okay? And when I'm at about this point or so, I will meet back up with you so I can finish up round 5 with you. Okay, I'll be back, but the rest of it is pretty much a straightforward run. Okay, so I shall be back, I promise. Okay, so as promised, I'm almost done with round 5. I did my 7 trebles, my chain 1, my 7 trebles. Well, got to deal with this last little loop right there. So going to chain 1, and then into the center loop, 6 trebles, not 7. Yes, we need 6 because we're going to slip stitch to that last chain, which will count as 7. It's like I was saying earlier how the pattern itself is really quite simple, but you do have to keep track of those very minor points about the beginnings and endings and so forth. All right, so as you can see, I do have my 6. Very good. So then slip stitch to the third chain from the bottom, or the second chain from the top, and like so, right into there. Very good. And slip stitch. Ta-dam! All right, so that is the end of round 5. Let me just sort of scoot my stuff around here. There we go. And a little bit of an overview. Oh, it's so lovely. It is so, so very lovely. And the texture is to die for. Now, in spite of this being a textured blanket, I did not find it to be particularly a yarn hog. I didn't think so compared to some other blankets or stitches that are heavily textured. This one wasn't quite so severe. So I think it is an awesome piece indeed. And well, yeah, there you go. So basically, all you would need to do is keep repeating rounds 4 and 5, ending on a round 5, air quotes. Because personally, I think it just looks a lot better if you end on an odd row. And so just keep going until your project is a sufficient size. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, don't hesitate. Give a little thumbs up button down below. I appreciate your appreciation so very much. Helps motivate me to keep going, and you guys always put a smile to my face, and I thank you for that very much. And also, by the way, do check out my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, for a video game playthrough and commentary. Would love to see you there too. And of course, my Etsy store. With the winter season quickly approaching, I do plan on getting more items up hopefully soon. And yeah, that about sums it up for today's lovely little tutorial. Yeah, so until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. Yes, stay stitching and stay safe, please. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.